Bristol?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. We're one of the larger cities in England. I think we're about the 5th largest, something like that. I shall look up the population and see how many people we've got here. Yeah.
Haven't you got tired from the city, where
I like to go out into the countryside a lot, and several times a year I take my tent, I go and camp in the countryside or in the woods and spend some time there. But also we're lucky in this city because it isn't a round city like that. The countryside comes into the city all around, you know what I mean? So I haven't got too far to go to find somewhere that's a little bit wild.
it's quite good, because in St. Petersburg it's like huge city, and in order to get to countryside you have to spend maybe hour and a half to go to get somewhere.
Yes, I used to live in London and I hated it because it took so long to get out of the city to see some proper wild trees, not in a park. So yeah, that's why I came back to Bristol. I was born here. I've lived in a lot of different cities, London, Cairo, Amsterdam, but I'm happy in Bristol, actually.
What did you do in London, Jane? What did you do in London?
I was a photographer. I went to art college and did some photography qualifications, and then I went to London to work. But I was there for 3 years, and my partner, who was born in London, said he just didn't want to live there anymore, and I agreed. So we came back down this way again to live in the West Country.
So you are a photographer, right?
I was. I'm retired now. I've become more of an artist along the way. I can now take pictures of anything I make.
I like to take photos,
I do.
It's really cool.
I would like to say that Jane is a very creative person, and she's also kind of how to say it. Jane, please help me. Who is making jewelry?
Oh yes, I am. I'm a silversmith now. Oh, I've done lots of things along the way. I love making things. I was a ceramic artist making pots. Now I just make all different kinds of things, whatever I feel like. I've learned how to do taxidermy, if you've heard that word. You take a dead animal and you can clean it for the skull, or they stuff animals and pose them. I've learned how to do that, and I'm using parts of birds in my art now. As weird as that sounds, it's very fashionable in England, and it's great fun to do, actually. I just use things that people find in the countryside or on the roads that's dead already. I don't go and shoot anything to make my art.
Thank you. I'm sure everybody of you will see her pictures she has on your profile, Jenny. You can share.
Do add me on my profile, and you can have a look.
You can share with your pictures through Webtalk. and everybody would be
yes,
interested.
yes.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm signed up properly on there now.
Mhm. So something else. So sorry. my my PC was my battery was run out of energy, and
Oh.
I forgot to connect my electric wire with and so
Charge it up, yes.
crazy. And first part of our conversation disappear. Oh, I am very sad. Okay, continue our chat about comparison. Sergey, what would you say?
Thanks, RD. I'm a little disagree with you. I wouldn't say a country way of life enjoyable, quiet, and peaceful. I clearly remember the time when I was a kid and like a teenager boy, and my youngest age, my parents quite often sent me to the village, and I saw my own eyes how people who are living in the village struggle to live. They woke up very early. They went to the farm fields, make their heavy jobs. They stay there all day long, and when they come back home in the evening, they also needed to take care about their own domestic animals and to do household chores also. And I wouldn't say this way of life quite easy, and there is no something romantic. Of course, citizens who traveled, who stay a short period of time in villages, they enjoy fishing, hunting, making barbecue. Of course, if they stay well, a camp, if they live in tent, only 2-3 days or nights, they enjoying the nature, they are buzzing and listening birds, and after a long time living in the city with it seems for them quite peaceful and yeah.
Oh, one by one.
In the village, all the. Sorry.
It seems like your picture is frozen.
Was I capable? Were you capable to hear me?
Yeah. Go on.
Yes. So, as a real victim, like a real victim, I saw how people live in village and city, and I would say nowadays we life in the village quite harder when compared with citizens. Of course, there are a lot of there are a lot of negative feelings about the city. Last few years, cities overcrowded.
Again. Okay, friends, let's continue. Crazy chat. Who will continue? Any? Why you're muted. Please
Yeah,
tell
there
us.
is
Tell
no
us.
demand. There is no question from the host. I'm all ears, and I just want to be good listener. So I'm just waiting for your question. There's no question, so what can I do? Give me a question. Yeah, you are the boss here.
You didn't say me about your vision comparison.
Wow, that is a. I think I cannot explain it completely because yeah, I can say like a little bit in urban life, like in city. It could be always there pro and cons, as I said. You know, the pros like education. This more so much better because we can find more large number of school, both like government and also private in the city, and also universities and kind of big college is already there in the city, and also a facility of medical facility also so much better I think at the town, like provide sufficient medical facilities, of course, in the city. And also amusement. This is the important thing for young people. They need it. Amusement and recreation. Just like theater, movie, multiplex, restaurant, anything available in the city. And also the opportunity of employment. And people get job easily in the city, in the town. And if people having different skill, and they can get it easily in the city, just think with their ability, their skill. And also mixture people, because in the city and the town, the gathering with many people from different culture, the mixture over there. That the pros in city, but the con is we cannot find any fresh air in the city, in the urban life. Yeah, because in there, many pollutant like pollution from noisy, like from the we cannot take a breath and like healing fresh air in the city. If you're comparing in the village, everything is pure natural. That's the attraction of the countryside terms. That's for me, yes, in the city, it's always a lack of natural thing, for example, like adulterated foods, like unhealthy food already there, like junk food, anything that makes our health like going crazy, and in the village we can get it anything, but of course in village always lack of facilities. That's all. But for all people, they tend to live in the village because like a silent, just like need peace, less crowded, less noise. They enjoy all people. But mostly young people, they didn't. They tend to live in the city for young people because they need technology. Because technology in touch in the city at the very beginning, so that's gonna be enjoyable for young people. Like nowadays in village, it is not easy to get in touch with, to utilize technology sophistication. There's always lack of something modern, just like mother's life, and they mostly they enjoyable with young old people. Old people tend to live in villages for sure. You know, I'm sorry, Ardi. I didn't mean. Please, no offense. I didn't mean that I said. I didn't mean that. Gonna say that you are old guy. No, I didn't mean to say that. But this is, I say, like generally, you know, generally. But perhaps you are not in that way. You are, even though physically old, perhaps, but mentally you are young forever.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's was such a pleasure to listen to you. Interesting vision. Valentina.
Yeah, that's all I can add more. Thank you.
Valentina, are you there? Please join us. Say your opinion. Valentina. Oh, what else? Maybe it's my internet.
In a small town of Kirov, I am not. Do we speak about different towns or not?
It's better now. Go on.
And I think I'm not a country mouse because I like living in a city or in a town. I like visiting museums and theaters. I like walking along the river banks in the evenings. I like lights, maybe concerts, but there are a lot of disadvantages in the town too. You know, there are many factories in the town, and the air is very dirty, is polluted, and our town is crowded too. There is a big traffic jam in our town, and but I would like to say how small our town is. I can drive by car, or it takes me about 30 minutes to drive from one end to another end of our town. Although I spent all my childhood in the village, I have been living there till I was 18, and I went to school there. I live in the countryside too, but I think the life there is very dull, and I agree with you. There are a lot of work there. For example, we had a cow, we had a lot of domestic animals, and we had to work a lot, and we had to stand up, to wake up early, and go to bed very late. And our parents too, and the children as well. That's all.
Thank
I
you.
would like to say.
Thank you. So, what else? Maybe Sergey wanna add something, or we will go further?
Oh, okay. First of all, I'd like to say we are living in a big world, and living conditions are quite different in each country. I saw like people in Vietnam, for example, are still living in the countryside, they cleaned or washed their clothes still in the river. And I don't think in Russia, for example, or Germany country, women go out to the riverside to refresh their clothes in the river. In the poor country, where most people still live in the countrysides and the villages, I think we are more happier because, in my strong opinion, living in the city requires of us a lot of energy. I found living to stay in the village more better for health. All those people who are still stay in the country, they have much more opportunity to eat healthy, fresh food. As Annie said before, all those junk food, not so good. And it's, I live in the town, not in the city. I have my own garden. I grew up in the kitchen beds, some greenery, especially for to get all of it on my table when I want to get it.
Thank you.
I have some trees, cherry, persimmon.
Yeah, I remember.
Tangerine,
I know,
yes.
you have a great garden.
I don't need to go to market to get apples, for example. Also, I have grapes. All those products I can get for free, but I have to take care of those plants.
One time it was funny to see how Sergey climbed up to the tree and making stream live. Please,
excuse me. If I may ask one question for Jane,
yeah,
if you don't mind.
Of course.
Dear Jane, I'm going to ask you about. You told me just that you are retired already, and so along by your retired. So how did you spend your time, especially regarding to these quarantine days lately?
Sorry,
how did you spend?
I couldn't hear the last bit. Did you ask me what I did before I retired? I taught adults, I taught them art, pottery and yoga.
Didn't get it.
I was teaching, I was a tutor, teaching adults, grown-up people, and I taught them art, pottery and yoga.
Sorry, what last phrase? And yoga?
Yoga.
Yoga. Ah.
Yoga, yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing. Jane, maybe you have questions to someone of us?
Oh, not especially. I'm just enjoying the conversation. It's nice hearing about where you live. Are you all locked up for coronavirus? Are you stuck in your houses like I am?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Particularly in my city, it was quarantine,
Yeah.
and people under safe control, and besides, police is how to say, is checking for
Maintain.
Yeah.
and for order, and just people goes just for need outside,
Yes.
just to buy,
Yeah, the same here.
and to visit hospital and
Yeah.
other authorities.
They allow us to go out for 1 hour for exercise. It's a bit like let the dogs out, you know.
Actually, situation is really worrying because quite recently we had only a little more 30 infected people, but now it's about 80. About 80. 3 of them already died. 4 of them in bad condition and bad shape. It's
We've had a lot of people die in the UK. Our government were very slow to call a lockdown. I went into lockdown myself a week before everybody else did. So I've been in lockdown for 5 weeks now. It's a long time to be stuck indoors, you know. This is why I talk about my neighbours driving me crazy with everyone at home. It is so noisy. They really are. My next door neighbour is in the garden now with a chainsaw. I can't sit in my garden because he's just making so much noise.
You can do the same thing, Jane.
So you'll see why I'm in my front room, because it's quiet in here and having a conversation with nice people. This is something I haven't been able to do for 5 weeks now.
Yeah, now you can find us and you can get rid your burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I promise you. you will have conversation every day.
Yeah, and we always be there for you, Jane. He told me that he met you about how many years? 1 year or 1 year? How long time did you met her?
How long did I know
last summer. Last summer.
Yeah, 6 months or so.
6 months. Oh, quite long time ago.
Like
6 months. Don't worry, Jane. Don't worry, Jane. You will never be feel loneliness because we already always be there for you. Don't worry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, D. What's the time? Still time's half or
That's
still?
good. Dmitry, I just wanted to give opportunity to everybody to talk. And
Dmitry, are you stuck at home nowadays, or are you capable to go out to work?
Actually, it's quite complicated if we are speaking about St. Petersburg, because here police is, like lazy, and nobody really is like checking if you are, home or so. It's like it was claimed that it's non-working days in St. Petersburg as in the whole Russia, but people still can go out freely. So you could see it in my last video. It was shot in the park. It's nearby my house. It's my building. So people if I want, I can go out and nobody really cares.
Well,
But I'm home. I'm working from home, and I'm working like part-time job. I have part-time job, and another time I spent on like video courses and something like that. But I am home.
I have question. Do you pay for video courses?
Yes, of course. It's like it's not free because you can like I don't know. You can get a lot of free content on YouTube, for example, but in such case, it will take much more time to get some skills. So if you want to improve faster,
Mm-hmm.
you have to get some sort of like tutor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I recommend to watch Dmitri's channel, to subscribe to him. He is a great filmmaker. And
Oh, very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, interesting videos, and so great. And he's a master. And I say him, break a leg, keep it up. That's great. Wonderful. Valentina, maybe you have questions to Jenny. Feel free to ask.
I don't have any questions because I don't listen very well to Jane and Annie. I have some problems with the connection too, maybe, and I don't understand everything, unfortunately. I would like to say about coronavirus in our region, in Kyiv, and there are more than 2,000 people already in the hospital.
2,000
nowadays. Yes, 2,000.
Wow.
And we don't go out, but we can. We see that police catch some people and lead them anywhere. I don't know where. Maybe to the police station, and especially children. When the children walk alone, they are led to the police station, and maybe the parents will be оштрафованы. What is English for?
Fired.
Fired.
Will. Well,
You will get a fine for that.
Okay. And I think I saw that in Germany there are many meetings against of this coronavirus, against of
lockdown, right? Lockdown.
Yes, because they are prohibited to go out, and they open the magazines, or they open the shops and the stores, and maybe in Russia will soon the stores are open too, will open too. I think because people are tired of sitting at home and they don't want to listen to the police and the politicians. They will go out in such nice weather, and they would like to walk in the parks. So.
Thank you. Jane, how long would be this period of quarantine in your town?
I don't know. The government won't commit themselves at the moment, and I think that's a good thing. We had someone from the newspaper was saying to them, when will we know? And I think the minister was very wise to say, I'm not going to tell you yet. We're going to see what happens, because we've had such a lot of people die in this country, and the figure is going down now, but it's not down far enough. If you let people out too quickly, it's all going to come back again, and all this would have been for nothing. So I'm glad they're keeping us locked down a bit longer. It's driving me crazy, but it's what we've got to do.
Yes, that's right.
I feel very sad for the children that can't go to school at the moment. My sister's son has just finished university, and he was just sent home. There won't be any ceremony for him like other people have. He's just gone home. You're finished. That's it, you know. And I talked to a little girl who lives over the back. We talked through the fence, and she's feeling very sad because she doesn't know when she's going to see her school friends again. I think schools are closed until September. So, yeah, she misses her friends and her grandmother she can't see. And yeah, some aspects of this are quite sad, really.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, but we've got to do it. The TV
True.
keeps telling us we're warriors. We have to keep doing this. Keep fighting, you know. And
Yeah.
well,
True. Together we can.
That's great.
Jane, can I ask you a question, please? I wanted to know about your, you know, can you notice people? I come back to this topic. Okay? So,
Yeah.
Can you notice? What the different people who lives in the city and the village about their P's and Q's?
About the peace, how quiet it is, did you say?
About P's and Q's. I mean, like the mind, their manners.
Oh,
Did you get the difference between?
We have a lot of young people in the city now who think everything is for them. They can be terribly rude because they think it's their right to do what they like and say what they like. So perhaps the young people in the countryside are more polite.
True, same here.
Yeah. But it's the other way round with the adults in the city. We know we have to be polite to each other because so many of us live here, you know.
So what influence in this case, you know, we just like we can, you can say it again, just like I don't know why this happened anywhere. I guess so. Because just didn't paying about their just like their P's and Q's, you know, and people in countryside more polite. So what influenced them in that way? Perhaps this is influence on their food. This is like quite weird, you know, or perhaps education from family. I don't know.
I'm sorry, the sound was going a bit strange there. Eddie, could you tell me what the question was? I'm sorry, Annie. It sounds very echoey. I can't hear you properly.
Oh.
Could you tell me what it was, Eddie?
Actually, I didn't catch it now.
You didn't get it either.
Maybe
Jane, Annie was asking. Jane, Annie was asking you. What do you think? What was the reason, or what has influenced such a difference between, like as you said, young people in who live in the cities and who live in the countryside? What was the reason?
Why they on the countryside? Oh, you said
Yeah.
that more rude. So what the reason why did this happen?
Perhaps it's because in the city we have a lot of choice, and your child can come home and say, I want to do this, and you say no, and they say, oh, my friends are doing that, I want to do it. And parents just give in, Whereas in the countryside, life is more practical. There's things you have to do that take more time than they do in the city. Maybe you have animals to look after, that kind of thing. So I think kids learn that they're not automatically going to be told yes all the time. In the city, I despair of some parents because they think their whole job is to make their children happy. Whereas my view was always that I had to bring up my son to fit in with society, to be able to get a job, to be polite so that people will give him a job because he's a nice man, The last generation, it's all, oh, me, it's all about me. And that's why they're so rude, really.
Yeah, that's urban life.
Yeah.
Through the movie. I guess through the movie, just like their role model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Anywhere, I guess. Thank you for your explanation, Jane.
You're very welcome, Annie.
Friends, it's time flies very fast and less than 5 minutes left.
But
So,
anyway,
talking
Erdi, my
to you
tummy
guys.
is already singing, It's already 10:30 here, 10:30 in the evening, in the PM already here. You don't know my tummy already singing, running around. Yeah. So I got to go. Come on, Erdi.
okay. So I think.
Shall we do this again sometime? I'm quite happy to come and talk to you guys if you've got more questions. I'll try and get my internet better for next time.
Yeah, you have to fix it, Jen.
But if you'd like to, I can come again next week, next Monday, and we'll come an hour earlier, so that it's not so late.
Fix it. Attend me to practice English, Jane.
So let's make conclusion. Jane, say something to our friends, to you friends.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me. I've enjoyed it. I've learned quite a few things about the cities you live in, and it's all interesting. I always like to hear about how other people live, what's the same and what's different, So thank you, everyone. And if you would like to meet again next week, Eddie, I'm sure you could set something up for us.
Yeah, of course. We will make some data.
And that'd be nice.
Yeah. So maybe someone else.
Please feel responsible. It's your responsible now.
I will say it in the end. Thank you very much, Jane. You kindly agreed to meet with my friends, and it's a precious point of our what generally we are here together, just to practice English, to communicate to each other, and so this opportunity is wonderful for us. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Rick.
not only for you and for everybody of my friends, because I know you for a while, and everybody helped me a lot.
But you don't know I'm hungry, you know, I'm starving now.
Just 1 minute left.
1 minute.
Yeah.
This
So
is
what
the
else?
last minute.
Yeah. Last
What
minute.
else? What else?
Mhm.
Anything else to talk about?
Yeah.
If not, I will leave you all of you. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Jane,
friends.
thank you very much.
Bye.
Erensel, everyone, thank you
See
very
you.
much.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time, guys.
Bye bye.
Next
See
It
you.
was
time.